Hi, Skelly Pops. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm gone.
Um, Alright, we were just talking to all the people in this bar here. Quite a few of them, by the way. An armored behemoth. This man is huge. He also seems to have a very keen eye. It misses nothing that transpires around him. It also seems he has no interest in speaking to you. Hello? The man stares at you as if you were some form of bug. He stares at you, blinking slowly, then turns his head, dismissing you without speaking a word. Hello? You hear a subterranean rumble beginning deep in the man's chest. He lightly strokes his weapon and stares at you with renewed interest. Okay, we will avoid getting into a fight right this second. You see a grizzled, burly man in spiked armor. He eyes you coolly and slowly, up and down, evaluating you. He pauses for a time on your face, almost as if it jogs his memory somehow. He sighs, then says, "Can I help you with something, friend?" "Who are you?" "Me? I'm Turner." "What's with the outfit?" "It's a uniform of a kind. We're the Red Death. Mercy killers. We're the justice folks. Someone commits a crime, we bring him to justice. We right wrongs, too. You want to know more? Go talk to one of the recruiters. Fair enough. We're your friends. They're Caleb and Isildun. Caleb's the new meat, a new recruit. Isildun's the muscle, and I'm the brains. What are you doing here? Waiting for a criminal. This'll be Eager Caleb's first arrest, if the Burke we're waiting for ever shows up. I'm looking for a journal. Have you seen one? I see far too much on the mean streets of Sigil, friend. Unless this journal was something spectacular. Chances are good I ain't seen it. Tell me about this place if you would. This is the Smoldering Corpse. Chant in this place is full of portals and such, but then, that's true of most everywhere in Sigil. Good cheap drinks, and if you don't mind the company of bubbers and fiends, it ain't a bad place to be. You want to know more about the place? Talk to the bartender or something. Okay, we're gonna ask him if he recognized us. Did you recognize me? I thought I did, but those pictures are centuries out of date, and the suspect be dead by now. Of course, these are the planes, and stranger things have happened. Still, if you're the feller I'm thinking of, it looks like you served your sentence by means of pain. What can you tell me about this person you're talking about? 'Twas a particularly brutal criminal, from what I understand. This was, of course, centuries ago. Immense strength, they said, and enough anger to tear the head from a barrier. Not a sod to be messin' with. Word is, he got himself surrounded by a Red Death patrol, escaped through a portal, and hasn't been seen since. He frowns, studying you. They have pictures of him. Take away some of the scars, and you might be related to him. Probably not him, though. I'm surprised I didn't get like a memory from that. I may come back here if when I have a higher intellect. See if that changes anything. Okay, let's talk to Ilquix here. You see a short, rotund man with a perplexed expression on his face. From the lines on his loose skin, it looks like it's not too uncommon. He carries a flagon of ale that looks like it's in the process of being emptied, rapidly. In between swallows, he speaks in a gentle voice, so quiet that you can barely hear his words. "Hello, traveler. My name is Ilquix. Can I be of some assistance to you?" "Greetings, I would like to ask some questions." "What did you want to know, my friend?" "Who exactly are you?" I am but a humble man, with a slight flowery, poetical bent. and a tendency towards the supernatural. I regret that I have none of my supplies here, or I should be the most eager to teach you the ways of power. Perhaps some other time. Yes, I'd like that. For now, I have other questions. What can you tell me about this place? This place, the Smoldering Corpse Tavern. A fine establishment, with a fine owner. Barkus is a true gentleman, and ambitious to increase his standing to boot. These, I feel, are the most useful qualities one can possess. They do drive people. What else can you tell me about the patrons? The patrons of this tavern are many and varied. I have spoken with most, and find them delightful, with the exception of those creatures of law. He gestures toward the pair of Abishai sitting in the corner. They taint the air with their presence, lending an unwholesome stench to an otherwise pleasant environment. I recommend speaking to Barkus. I understand he requires some aid with a trifling matter. Then we have that O character. I am still trying to understand him fully. It is quite an undertaking if I say so myself. Those are the folks of interest here. The others, well, perhaps I'm too discriminating. Who's that Bernie man? That? Ah, that is the last unfortunate who chose to exercise his individual will without the strength to back up his desires. His name is Ignis, and he was a pyromaniac. He burned and didn't burn the right people, and wound up channeling more raw power than he could control. Now, well, you can see what became of him. If you wish to learn more, perhaps that poor creature Drusilla can help you. Very well. Okay, there was something I paused. Why do you suppose creatures of law? Fine question, my friend. My upbringing has been on the chaotic side of the Great Ring. You may speak to Candrine Ilborn. A misnomer, if I ever heard one. Of the plains. He fancies himself a great plane walker. To return from my digression, I have lived many a years with chaos, and find it pleasantly unagreeable. To me, the taint of law, as is in those creatures there, is reprehensible and tyrannical. If I am to be crushed underfoot, I'd rather it be by an individual than a machine that knows nothing of emotion. I disagree. Silkwick smiles toothily at you, his fat cheeks barely moving. Each his own. Do you have more questions? This one's functional door is now nailed shut and barred on the inside to protect against thieves. Interesting little side area there. Okay, we'll talk to the bartender, Barkus. You see a leather-skinned man with just a hint of ashen color to his face. His teeth seem sharper than normal, and his eyes are filled with the boredom that comes from having seen too much. His voice is nasal and clipped. You again, what do you want this time? You again? What do you mean? Yeah, you again. Got a hearing problem or something? You was in here about 15 years ago. Got all bubbled up, smashed up the place, and left a pile of coin that wasn't enough to pay for the damages. So you plucked out your own bleeding eyeball and tells me you'll be back to reclaim it when you get 200 coppers together. With 15 years of interest, you got about 500 coins. You got the jink, pal, I got your eye. 500, that's ridiculous. He pauses for a moment, considering. That it is. Tell you what, give me 300, and the eye is yours. Here's the money. It's a deal. He produces a darkened, wax-stoppered, wide-mouthed bottle from his pocket. You hear the sound of liquid sloshing around inside it, along with a heavier, squishier noise. Opening it, the stench of some sort of preservative agent nearly makes you gag. Floating in the viscid muck is an eyeball. You better figure out what you want to do with it now that you've exposed it to the air. You might as well put a pickled egg in the jar for all that good old do you? Make up your mind, Cutter. Pickled egg or not? Tear out your eyeball and place this one in its socket. With a moment's hesitation, you reach into your socket and pop your eyeball into the palm of your hand. The bartender helpfully severs the optic nerve and directs your hand to the jar of goo that sits on the bar. You deposit your eye in the preservative, wrap your fingers around the old one, and slide it into your empty socket. The pain of this entire operation is incredible. After a moment, though, you can feel the optic nerve reattaching itself to this new eye, and suddenly, you're hit by a flash of memory. Memory flash. A vast expanse of chaotic, ever-changing wasteland stretching before you. A group of humanoid vultures plummeting towards you. Cruel weapons ready to strike. In your own shining blade, clutched tightly in your fist. Memory flash. 3 tufts surround you, in the colors of an enemy you can't quite place. Long daggers glisten in their hands, and the light glints cruelly from their exposed teeth. You glance at your scarred hands, and no, they'll soon be covered in blood. Memory flash. An enormous frog-like creature comes bounding over, through, under chaos stuff, headed for you with a mouthful of teeth. You hurl your javelin through the shifting matter and pin the creature to a sudden stone plinth. You've recalled some of your lost fighting skills. Got a proficiency point. Although, we need someone who can actually teach us stuff. For that matter. Okay, let's see. Alright, let's learn more from Barkus. Who are you? Me? I'm Barkus, owner and keeper of this place. What is this place? Didn't you see the sign out front? Didn't you see the burning over the furnace when you came in? It's the Smoldering Corpse Cutter. Best damn bub house in Sigil. At least it's the best damn bub house in this part of the hive, which makes it one of the best in Sigil. Hell, they got fancy places with plants and such in the ladies' ward. And they got fiendish taverns salted around the rest of the hive, but none of them got the character of the Smoldering Corpse. Who's the corpse anyway? Him? Ignis. He used to be a flame wizard, burned down pieces of the hive and got himself scragged by a bunch of other mages. You want to know more about him? Go talk to Drusilla down by the door. Alright, so let me know something more. What can you tell me of the patrons here? I don't make it a point to interfere with the lives of people who give me their hard-earned jink unless they ask me to. So, over there is Kandrian Planewalker. He's a good one to talk to about any planewalking questions you might have. He has been pretty much everywhere. Down there is Creekness, an old harmonium basher. Don't hold that against him. And a tout. He's a good heart in him, and he knows Sigil up and down. The fiends over there are Ethelgrin and Tigarin. Word of advice, don't deal with them. They might be low rankers in the fiend hierarchy, but they're still a fiend. Then you got Ilquix over there. Not trustworthy. And some mercy killers looking for some poor sod. Dakan the Githsari is a mystery to me. Don't know much about him. He don't talk much. Finally, interested in earning some free bub? Yes. There's a bubber over against the far wall, hanging about in the shadows, who's been trying to work up her courage to slip out without covering her tab. I want you to make sure she don't do that. You do it? You got free bub here for life. I'll do it. Okay.
All right.
Let's go talk to that person. Mochai. You see someone dressed as a female dustman with a empty glass in her right hand. As you near her, she calls out to you, you, over here. You notice that there's something wrong about her. and your exposure to Dustman leads you to believe that she's just too likely to be a real member of the faction. Hey, Cutter. Buy a lady a drink? You're not really a Dustman, are you? She looks around nervously and seems to sober right up. Why do you say that? Because you don't act like a Dusty, and you're not offering contracts. In fact, you're taking money in instead of giving it out for the corpse labor they do at the mortuary. She stifles a squeak of terror and hastens to explain, No, I'm not a dustman. I just found these robes in the street and didn't have enough money to get good clothes, and I heard there was a dustman thief around, but you could probably find him somewhere else in the southwest part of the hive. I saw him, but I hid from him. Please don't hurt me. I'm not planning on it. You ought to know that you're not pulling it off too well. Now answer some questions. Marcus says it's time for you to settle your pay up. She jumps a little. In her nervous tension becomes full-fledged anxiety. What are you going to do? Ask you to pay up. Now. I can't afford it. Can you spot me just 10%? I'll, give it to him. And he knows I'll pay the rest. How much do you need? I think about 100 coins to get started on that debt. Can you think of another solution? Another way to pay? You could, always kill me. I could, but I'd rather find another solution. Okay, who are you? Me? I am Bochai. I just like to, drink here and, He loses her train of thought momentarily. I'm just a person, you know? What is this place? Smoldering Corpse Tavern, can't you read? You, more bubbed than I am? Tell me about the other patrons here. Dunno, they're just some people. I don't deal much with people, unless they're buying me a drink. He looks at you hopefully. Who's the burning corpse? He's, not a corpse. He's, some crazy wizard. Ask around. They'll tell you the story. Yeah, unfortunately I was trying to get up to, 1200 gold and now we're down to 430. Alright. Maybe we'll lend her the money. She pockets your drink, glances briefly toward the door, almost as if she's weighing her chances of dashing out. Sighs heavily as she realizes there's no chance, and begins to walk glumly toward the bar. My thanks, I suppose. Don't mention it, and don't even think about heading for the door until you paid up.
Done.
See if that, does the quest or not. You'll be having trouble with Mochai again. Thanks, friend. You have full bar privileges for free. Anything you want. Anytime. Okay, cool. I guess that's where they're... Oh! Level 7. So... Wait, what? Oh no, I thought that was my main character leveled up, but it was Dakan.
In enduring, grow strong.
Spell memorization. Check my spell slots here. 2 more magic missiles. Okay, power of 1. I guess 100 gold was worth 1,000 experience. Want something to drink? Want a drink? You got a drink. This is what I got for you. Beer, bitters, mead, elemental water, arbori and fire wine and fire seeds, cursed heart wine and Bayatin Beatorian whiskey. What will it be? Information. Okay, I'm curious if this actually gives me anything. Beer. You quaff the weak drink. The flavor isn't exactly bold, but it's filling, and it's alcoholic. It doesn't seem to do anything else for you. Bitters. You quaff the weak drink. Doesn't do anything. Mead. Doesn't do anything. Water. He moves back to a keg on the wall and turns the spigot. The clearest water you have ever seen pours from the nozzle into a glass. He holds underneath it. He sets it down in front of you, and you take a deep draught. It is the purest thing you ever tasted. The coldness inherent to the water itself. The feeling of air that passes over your tongue and into your stomach, where its coolness calms even the raging of your passions for a moment. From the heart of the elemental plane of water, he snorts. Any other water you ever drink is going to taste dirty by comparison. Fire wine and fire seeds. He passes you a glass of deepest red wine and a handful of brightly colored seeds. Stick the seeds in your mouth, he advises, and take a swig of the wine. Don't be surprised when the seeds catch fire. They won't do you any harm. It's a taste like no other. He's right. When you pop a seed into your mouth, it mingles with your saliva and bursts into a tiny flame. You quench it with a swallow of fire wine, and the taste is indescribable. Smiles one another. Heart wine. He passes you a glass of Kurth's famous heart wine. The bouquet is breathtaking, and the wine itself is full-bodied and fruity. The aftertaste leaves nothing to be desired. Made from real razor vine, that is. Wish I knew the secret. Want another? Whiskey. He places a shot of steaming substance that looks like boiling urine in front of you. The fumes that waft your way, however, are exquisitely tempting. The taste, though unbearably hot, is as smoky as the scent. The feel of the liquor burning its way to your guts is nearly painful, yet even this pain is sweet. The barkeep's eyes widen. Still standing? Most folks can't even make it halfway through the first shot. Don't even feel anything. Barkeep considers you carefully, resting his chin on his hand. You know, Cutter? There's some as have a natural immunity to poisons and such. Some folks call Bubba poison. If that's the case, chances are good you got yourself a handy little defense against poisoners. Ought to come in handy.
I had to wake up from the dead in a place like
Doesn't
this.
seem to really do much other than give us some information, but that's fine. I'm looking for a journal. A journal? Paper and words? Friend, that sort of thing don't get much stock down here in the hive. Folks here can barely read the sign above the door, much less an entire journal. If you're looking for a journal, you'd do better to have a system instead of asking folks willy-nilly. You know, I think they've got a point, actually. Okay. Seems
I
like
must be hallucinating, all right.
we've exhausted that. What's Mocha doing? Like, wandering all the way over here. Yeah, let's go talk to Ignis. I think we've done this. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, here you go. Interesting, I didn't even realize that that actually happened.
I'm gone.
Okay, let's check one of the normal patrons here. This is a slight balding man with a cynical cast to his face. He speaks in a staccato voice, rapping out each word distinctly. What do you want, Cutter? Who are you? I am Cillian Iron Toes. Before you ask, I got the name because my idiot brother dropped a 50-pound stone on my foot and crushed my toes. Now I have iron toes, alright? Looking for a journal. Haven't seen one. At least not one that stuck out in my mind. If it wasn't valuable, try the trash mounds on the opposite side of the hive. I sympathize with your plight. Journals are the very essence of identity. They keep us aware of our past and help us plot our future paths. I always keep a journal myself, and I find that I'm a better person because of it. He says this last with self-satisfied relish. What can you tell me about this place? This is the Smoldering Corpse. I had brought my greenhorn, clueless prime cousin here to see some of the sights, smells, and sounds of Sigil's beauty. So far, she remains unimpressed. Who's burning by the entryway? Chant has it that the unfortunate fellow goes by the name of Ignis. Burned down a portion of the hive before the folks here got together and took care of him. They made him a conduit to the elemental plane of fire, and now he has to ride there for folks' amusement. Not too amusing, but interesting, certainly. It was, what was that you and your friend were saying about Sigil? Yeah, my cousin, he stresses the word, as if to emphasize he has no choice in his acquaintance, has recently come here from her backwater prime world. My uncle, a renowned wizard, brought her here to expand her horizons. She labors under the delusion that this is the center of the multiverse, and she thinks it's important somehow. Since I lived here my whole life, I know otherwise. It's a place the powers and Planeborn overlook, just as humans overlook the squirrels in the city parks. It's not important, and the sooner humans come to realize they're not important, the better off they'll be. 1 second. Really? I'll have to hear her justifications for this. Okay. I'm actually surprised that was like someone who has a name, because they just say Smoldering Corpse patron. I'll talk to this one too, just to see. This is a woman with a far-off cast to her face. She's not exactly young, nor is she exactly old. Perhaps it's the expression of slight disbelief that's etched across her features. The expression says that she doesn't believe her senses. When she focuses on you, she speaks sharply, but not angrily. You need something? Who are you? I am Kiaris Thorntongue. I'm here with my cousin, because my uncle doesn't want me wandering the hive on my own. He doesn't seem to think I'm competent on my own. He may be right. I don't know this city or this plane very well. I'm not from here. I'm from the Prime. The Prime, what's that? She cocks her head and looks at you oddly. The Prime material plane? The place where the belief the outer planes are shaped of is born? The world? Stars, moon, and so forth? Belief in reality? I sure hope you know what the Prime is, because it's an essential part of planar knowledge. You're from the Prime? Visiting, expanding my horizons. The Prime is a fine place to live, but it's a little too real, I suppose. My uncle gives each of his nieces and nephews a few years in the plains, and allows us to remain here if we so desire. I think I might so desire. I am fascinated and repelled. But then, I suppose that's the nature of the plains, isn't it? Oh, that was weird. I thought I could, Huh, hold on. I doubt this will matter, but, I noticed that, this question, went away if I didn't ask it the first time. Looking for a collector by the name of Ferret. You heard him? A collector? Don't believe I heard the term. She pauses, thinking, is that one of those haulers of the dead, the poor folk who collect the hive's innumerable victims for money? Yep. From what I understand, they mostly congregate in the areas of the hive that are farther from the mortuary, where there's more life and more violence. So nothing special on that, but I was kind of curious that question went away. If I didn't ask it the first time. Looking for a journal. Sorry, I'm new in town. and I can assure you I haven't seen anything I'd recognize as a journal. Although I am told that something that appears to be a person could, in actuality, be the journal for some other creature. I'm still trying to get my head around the philosophy here. It's a little overwhelming, but they say if you stick with it, it becomes much easier. What can you tell me about this place? This, I understand, is the Smoldering Corpse Tavern, named after that fellow near the entrance. From what I can see, it's a dive where scum mixes with cream to create an entirely unappetizing new flavor. Of course, being from the Prime, my perceptions might be jaundiced. Who's that burning by the entryway? That is Ignis. He attempted to burn down a portion of the city some time back. Centuries? And was punished by being turned into a living flame. A nasty fate, but fitting for a known pyromaniac and arsonist. From what I read, it'd be best to leave him well alone. How do you know so much about the place? Aren't you a Prime? The Uncle Celian and I share is a wizard who makes his home here. He brings his relatives to the plane on occasion to show them the delights and horrors of the multiverse. I wanted to be sure I was ready for the trip, so I prepared myself extensively. I probably know more about the city than my cousin, who's lived here his entire life. She gestures disparagingly at the man nearby. Quite an uncle. Can I ask some questions? What was that you and your friend were saying about Sigil? He's not my friend, he's my cousin. He was just telling me that this isn't the center of the multiverse, despite it being smack in the middle of the Outlands. Despite it being a focal point of portals from all over the cosmos, there isn't a known place with more. Despite all the quarreling the gods do over it, despite the sheer variety and concentration of power that accumulates here, there is no place like this in the cosmos, and he's telling me nothing special. Ha! Interesting perspective. Perhaps you both have elements of truth. Perhaps you're correct, but I find that such relativism is often beyond me. Either the place is important, or it's not. Paradox may fuel the planes. There must be sense to it somehow. Alright, good day. Okay, I think there was at least one more patron wandering around. And then we could go talk to the fiends, perhaps? If you talk to fiends outside, you just get into a fight. So I don't know if that will also be the case here. See a scruffy, ill-kempt man. He smells strongly of alcohol. Yeah? What do you want? He leans in close and looks you up and down. Looks like you could use a healer. He laughs loudly at his own poor humor, and the nauseating stench of liquor and poorly chewed food washes over you. Who are you? Me? I'm Andor. He weaves on his feet. He used to be a hell of a fight man, too, but that's before the bub took hold of me. Friends call me Slappy, because I was so good at doing it to people. But now they call me Slappy because so many women do it to me when I talk to them. Looking for a journal. He pauses for a moment. Well, if you lost it in the hive, it's a good chance some collector somewhere has it. Check out in the hive some more. They found all sorts of stuff out there. Maybe they can help you. What can you tell me about this place? This place? Smoldering Corpse. Best place in town for a drink. Leastway, as long as you don't mind drinking near a fiend or two. Nor if you don't mind Red Death poking their heads in on occasion. Lots of people here. Lots of interesting things. Lots. Who's burning by the entryway? That's Ignis. He's some crazy old coop mage who got the bright idea to burn down the hive. You see the alley of dangerous angles? He done that. Group of wizards got together and did some magics on him. Now he's a tavern-themed thing. Mascot. My cousin was one of the wizards. No great shakes as a mage, but he sure got this perk. Okay. That's everybody except the fiends. Okay, yeah, we were gonna talk to the fiends over here. Actually, let me talk to this guy here real quick. I wonder if we can, like, find the killer that this guy is looking for. Alternatively, I wonder if it's me. Okay. You see a scaled fiend who looks very similar to the one standing next to him. In addition to pierced left ears, both are black-hued and reptilian, with bat wings tucked against themselves. This one is missing a tooth on its right side. Ah, Tagarin, our old friend has returned to pay us a visit. So he has, Aethelgrin, so he has. Yet his eyes do not gleam as they once did. What do you suppose brings him back to us? What does bring you back to us, friend? Who are you? Ah, Aethelgrin. Time has robbed our companions of memory. You honestly do not recall us, do you? Truly am I grieved. As am I, Tagarin, truly aggrieved. Yet I rest easy. It has, after all, been many hundreds of years, and we know the minds of mortals tend to dissipate with age. Well spoken. Old friend, we are a pair of Abishai, on leave from our current assignments in Beator. I am Tagarin the Thrice Damned, so named for my ability to find the best in every situation. This is Aethelgrin, who has earned himself no special name, though not for lack of trying. Lack of trying? What do you mean? Aethelgrin ignores you as it responds to its companion. And once again, Tagarin, you have cut straight to the truth of the matter, though perhaps it is best not to have earned the sort of notice one bearing the name Thrice Damned must surely have incurred. I had some other questions. Morty whispers to you, Boss, I don't like this. You're not supposed to be here. The Blood War hasn't kicked the Celestials' asses bad enough that any fiend can go on furlough. They want something. Tread carefully. In the meantime, Tagarin responds to its companion. In its turn, Tagarin returns as you... in its turn, Tagarin ignores you as it replies to its comrade. Once again, I maintain that any notice is better than no notice at all. Old friend, does this answer your question as to our identities? Okay, so we didn't immediately get into a fight at least. But, Morty, is suspicious? The prodigal returns, eh? The fiend hisses a smile at you. Noxious vapors coiling from the corner of its mouth. Have your memories returned to you, old friend? What do you mean? What I mean, dear man, is that time, our old enemy, has performed a vicious disservice on you. It robs your memories and steals your recollections. If you do not recall us, why, it is because you have fallen prey to one of mortality's weaknesses. We are old friends of yours, old indeed. But what can we do for you? Sorry, asked that one. Looking for a journal. I keep no journals, friend, and I counsel that you should not either. Ask my dear comrade Tagarin why, and you shall receive enlightenment. Very well, Tagarin, why should I not keep a journal? Because, friend, it's easy to make the mistake of committing a true word to posterity there, and easier still for someone you once trusted. And here he shoots a glance of full venom at Aethelgrin to find that word and use it against you. Indeed, it can even lead to actions tantamount to desertion. Leaving or losing a journal can cost you your very existence. Boss, I'm not sure. I'm more sure than ever that these Burks ain't on the up and up. Sounds to me like they deserted. Like they're looking for some angle that'll elevate their status in Beator. You don't want to be talking to them, boss. You don't know what game they're playing. You could get burned. Literally. Alright, Morty, just a few more questions for these two. Why, is that a little floating skull I see? There's a lovely sweet scent of Beatorian decay about you, my pretty. Perhaps we should discuss this later. Abishai returns its attentions to you. Now then, you said you had some questions? What are you doing? What are we doing? Why is it not perfectly clear, old friend? We are on leave from our beloved assignment, taking for ourselves some much needed rest and perhaps inducing some additional recruitment for our glorious cause. Our superiors fully support our presence, to be sure. In a more immediate sense, we are taking our entertainment in this delightful establishment, and of course we are celebrating the return of our old friend. However, the stench of the breezes, which occasionally waft the scent of goodness in the door, debases us somewhat, leaving us physically, mentally, and spiritually weaker. Fortunately, the air in this ward of the city carries a delicious tang of pain and supplication. Wouldn't you agree? Again, the fiend smiles broadly at you. What is this place? This is the Smoldering Corpse Tavern, one of the more entertaining taverns your kind has seen fit to erect in this city. The poetic justice of this burning fellow at the front of the establishment is really quite a fine touch. Anything else? Tell me about fiends. As we see it, there are two kinds of fiends, those who are correct and those who are not. Our side, that of the Batsu, is correct. The other side, the cursed, hated, chaotic Tenari, is incorrect and must be exterminated. We hold the Tenari directly responsible for the Blood War. Were it not for them, we could have settled the lower planes in peace, and we wouldn't have all the bother of fighting this wretched war, nor would the unfortunate spillovers into other planes be a cause for concern among the namby-pamby and good do-gooders. The Tenari are directly to blame for the multiverse state of affairs. Not really what I was asking. I wanted to know what differentiates you from them. The fiend pauses for a moment and then brightens. Ah, yes. You see, we represent law and order. Those who break the law must be punished. If we have no law, we have only anarchy. And surely you can see that what anarchy has done to the Abyss. It has spawned horrors beyond imagining. Any excess the Beyatsu state may have indulged in are simply to counter the rising tide of chaos represented by the Tenari. We mean no harm to anyone. We just prefer to understand where the boundaries are. Okay. It seems like I'm talking to both of them at the same time. Okay.
Done.
Yeah.
Done.
I have some memory of this guy and being involved with these guys. I won't
Endure.
spoil murder, and I'm not 100% sure how to go about making that scenario happen. Did I get an identify scroll? Yeah. Okay, I suspect we're not going to get an identify spell from Dakan, so I think I'm going to go ahead and memorize that. Let's see.
I will hear
Okay,
you.
I'll identify the earring next time I sleep. Okay, I think I've talked to everyone here.
I'm gone.
Yeah, let me see what my journals has. Okay, I'm looking for a fake Dustman And then I need to find... Oh, these two are related. And then find Craddock for Bane the Sender. Okay. We could go to the Alley of Dangerous Angles if we wanted to, but maybe we go there last. I'm also curious if I fought one of these guys randomly already. I wonder if I could but they kind of got like stuck on my characters, so I'm a little curious if I can actually manage to fight fight one of them. You know, like normally. I'm sort of assuming not, but we will see.
Balance in all things.
I think we can just attack them right out, but oops.
What's up?
Let's see if we can taunt this guy. No, that
I'm gone.
wonder if we will always try and... I guess they do seem to have quite a lot of HP. Wait, did he get like stuck on my characters again? No. He does seem very single-minded though. Oh, there we go. This is pretty cheesy. Wow. He didn't get completely stuck there.
It is I. Your
Oh,
will be
that
done.
actually worked pretty well. For some reason they do seem to like
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
really fixate on my character. I would probably need to kill like what, 3 more of them to level up?
Done. Done. Done.
Let's see, do they keep populating here? I'm not sure.
I'm gone.
Thought they would like immediately repopulate, but that doesn't seem to be the case. I might try walking back and forth one more time just to check. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we could not coming up in a couple minutes. Oh, I didn't realize this was the Alley of the Dangerous Angles. I thought that was somewhere else. Well, okay, let's actually let's go rest just to heal up real quick.
Done.
Looks like Anna's gone, by the way.
I'm gone.
Hey, Draga. Welcome, welcome. Alright. Let's use another one of those Abishai. Let's see if we can successfully do that again. Buff up a little bit here.
Done.
Yeah?
Done.
He'll fixate on my main character again. Seems like it.
Just follow.
Actually, surprisingly well. 49. It's actually probably. Well, you need to do what? 3 more of those guys to level up. Here's one.
I hear your words.
Huh?
Oops.
All right.
Oh no. Ah, crap. Did I really not save? I wonder if I tried to save and then like
I'm gone.
didn't let me for some reason. That's annoying. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to do that again. We got an ad coming up here in just a second, by the way. I'm gonna eat this time, so it may be a little bit longer break than normal. And hopefully after that we can go for a little bit. Buffs here. Probably gonna start right as we attack this guy, I guess.
What's up?
I'm gone.
If we can, oh, they, okay, that time he actually changed targets.
Did you see that?
Does look like, Morty's gotten a lot more effective. Okay, ad time.